Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tosh Customs, and today this is not really a review. This is much more of like a showcase because this is a figure for my own personal collection, and I just kind of wanted to show him to you, for no other reason. I don't really plan on selling him, so if you're seeing this, please don't ask about it. There's a lot of people in my DMs who are like, "Oh, I saw your video. Would you be willing to sell this guy?" I have zero plans on selling him. This was a figure that I've had in the works for like a very, very long time, and a lot of planning and also a lot of waiting because, some orders got pushed back and stuff like that. And yeah, a lot of time spent to get this guy together, and I finally have him. And I'm very, very happy with the build. So I just wanted to show you guys. And yeah, so let's get into it. In terms of accessories here, I'm going to pop this head off so we can kind of talk about it. And then take his, I'll also take his pistols out. And I will also take out one of his throwing knives. This guy is kitted out. Once again, this is for my personal collection, and I really just wanted to make something sick. So, now we have all the accessories out. I'm just going to kind of get them all into frame down here. He comes with a lot, or I set him up with a lot, and I wanted to because, once again, this guy is my Red Hood. I wanted him to be like the ultimate Red Hood. I wouldn't want to have to think about this character or feel like I needed to add anything really to him, and so this is what I landed on. So I got this Red Hood sculpt from Omega. I think his username's XX Omega Doom XX, something like that. You're a homie, dude, but your username's long, and you know, it is how it is. When in my post, I'll tag him so you guys can find him. But this is his model of a Red Hood helmet. It does take some inspiration from, I believe his name is Death Star Soy. His Red Ronin art. It does take some inspiration from that, but it adds a little bit more of a angular tactical feel to it. And so I really like the modifications made. I think this is perfect for Red Hood. It's sleek, but it doesn't feel too streamlined. It's got some edge. It's got some, chip off the old block to it. So I really, really like that. So painted that in a very, very nice metallic cherry red and got in my detailing in the eyes, as well as all the black lining and divots, as well as some chrome silver. Oops, geez. As well as some chrome silver on the little sides of the helmet there. So very, very pleased with this head. I really, really like it. I did have to fit it and stuff like that. I know this whole underside's not painted, but you wouldn't see it anyways. So at best, maybe I'll paint it black at some point, but he never, the articulation doesn't allow him to look up enough to where you even see this far. So not a big deal. The other head I made is what I'm calling his Red Devil mask, and it is just based off the Netflix Daredevil head, but I wanted him to feel like a little bit of a scary ninja, and that's just something I wanted. Once again, personal figure for my collection, and so I took the Netflix head, painted it all silver, sprayed it with red, and then did all the glossy black detail lining. And I love how that looks. I love how angular, it almost looks like spider's legs or something coming off the side of the head there. And I like how these black lines loop around the horn as well. It's a really nice mask design. And I like this paint job. And then I just blacked out those eyes so they look just really, really empty. And I think that's super fun, and I'll put this on him in a little bit. The hands I'm using are Mezco Deadpool hands, pardon. Mezco Deadpool hands. These are the official Mezco Deadpool hands. Obviously you can see that they're made with a soft plastic and not the very hard, brittle ones that knockoffs are. I waited and searched for a long time to get official Deadpool hands. I as much as possible, I like my figures to be made with official Mezco parts. I am willing to settle for knockoffs occasionally, but if I have the option, I'm willing to spend the extra cash. And in my case, I'm not consulting a customer on it. You know, I always ask the customer if they're willing to work with knockoff pieces. But in my case, for my collection, I didn't want to go that route. And so I just waited till I could find some on sale, which is one of the reasons why this figure took so long to build. We also have a bunch of silver throwing knives on the back. He can hold a total of 6 of these, and I'll show that storage in a little bit. And these are from, pardon my language, the, I believe it's Hit Girl. Is it Hit Girl? I think it's Hit Girl. Hit Girl from Kick-Ass 2. So yeah, these are her throwing knives, and I've used these in other videos before, and I like them. They're honestly perfect. They're the perfect size for Mezco hands. They fit right in between that thumb and index finger super, super well, and they fit the Red Hood theme. You know, if he's been trained to throw batarangs, you know, he should have some kind of throwable weapon, and they're a good size because he can kind of hold them. Like if you wedge them in there, it's going to take a little bit of work here. I've got it to work before. You really just have to like fit it into like into the fingers there. But you can get him to hold it if I work at it. There we go. Yeah, so you can get him to hold it as well. So he does get a little bit of like a hand-to-hand combat knife look as well if he wanted that. So I think it was some nice options. I was thinking about including a combat knife with him, but just with the way the suit was set up, I couldn't really find a suitable place to put it. So I opted for throwing knives instead, and I do like that a lot. Some of the gear I have is printed from Figure Gear. He used to be 1/12 shop. I think he's Figure Gear 3D now. And so part of what I got was these Red Hood pistols with the little Red Hood logo on there. And so, you know, I painted and detailed these up nicely. Sprayed them all black, and then painted the metallic red, you know, cherry red on there. And then I also came through and dry brushed with a little bit of chrome silver, just mildly, to get a little bit of a finish on these pistols. I'll be honest, as much as they came with the set of what I bought, so I have them, these are definitely probably not going to be my go-to Red Hood guns, because honestly, these just are not realistic. Like, this looks like a Glock in the back, and then some weird modified, you know, barrel front, and it just makes no sense. It's cool to look at, but functionally it makes no sense. And if you know me, I like to mix form and function. So I do have these 3D printed Berettas, and I'll probably be running with these. They fit in the holsters as well, and they fit in his hands well. I also have these casts of these Titanfall 2 pistols, and they're a little bit more futuristic, but you know, this at the very least looks like something that got screwed into the barrel or some kind of extension, where, you know, because you can see that these are separate plates on top versus this where it's 100% smooth. Like, this makes no sense here. Even the fact that like the slide angle's down. So if I want something a little bit more futuristic, you know, maybe something that feels a little bit more techy than the Berettas, you know, I'll opt for these. So yeah, also, in case anyone is wondering, these are from, oh, it's not Casting Cave, Resin Armory. I got these from Resin Armory, so shout out to him as well. There's so many great people in the community who make weapons and print parts, and so, you know, credit where credit is due. I also have this casted G36, also from Resin Armory, and I sprayed this matte black, and then I did some chrome silver detailing on there, just to give it some weathering, and I really like this too. So this is a great model and piece as well. The only other thing that we really need to talk about is these swords. This sling that I have, I took it from I think it was the Pink Skulls duffel bag. I took it from the Pink Skulls duffel bag. I made a loop of elastic to connect the 2 metal rings, and then I also created this elastic binding to hold these 2 swords. This was from the Pink Skulls. This is the Pink Skulls katana, and I have detailed it in chrome silver. And then I also got this Daywalker sword from Figure Gear a while back, and so I turned it into a red, you know, red sword, metallic red sword, something a little bit more stylized. I really like that metallic red. It reminds me of Jetstream Sam from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. For those who know, you know, he's a great character. So, you know, I love those cherry red swords. I guess it also looks like Muramasa from Wolverine. But anyways, yeah. So those are the final components. So coming to the figure himself, I'm going to put on my Red Devil helmet now because, I mean, look at that. Come on, look at that. Is that not cool or what? Let me make sure those shoulder pads are up nice. And then I will also, I think I have to take off I have to take off the head to put the swords on. One sec. Let's get those swords on there. Get those swords across that chest strap. There we go. And now let's put the head on. Come on. Is that awesome or what? Is that awesome or what? So yeah, so this is now my Red Hood, or maybe Red Devil figure for my personal collection. The parts I have, these shoulder pads are from Figure Gear. This chest plate is from Figure Gear. These arm pads are from Figure Gear, as well as the belt and pistol holsters. I ordered all of these as like a set when he first released them. And I don't know if they're still in his shop anymore. They might be gone at this point. But I waited like, I think it was a total of like 8 or 9 months for my order to come in. And and that is not a knock on him. He had a lot of personal stuff going on. I think his daughter had their first grandchild, which is awesome. Congrats to him. Shout out to Figure Gear for that. That's huge and, absolutely amazing. But, he had real life important stuff going on. I think he also moved houses and he was like inundated with orders. So that was partially why this figure took so long to come together. But either way, I finally got my 3D printed parts in, and they look fantastic. And I'm just super, super happy with the results of this guy. These knee pads, I'll be honest, they're from a third-party company. I don't remember which one because there's so many companies that do like tactical, 1/12 scale stuff. But I do have these knee pads. And the base body is the Mezco exclusive blade. I think it's MDX, if I remember, because it's not the PX exclusive. So I think it's the MDX Mezco blade. And so instead of the leather pants, we do have these fabric pants. And I did do some, and I caught some of the lining with that gray just to help break up the blacks. And, this guy, he is not a total traditional looking Red Hood, even if I switch the heads back. He's not a traditional Red Hood in terms of color scheme. I wanted this guy to have a more sort of armored biker look. I think the last Red Hood I made, he had a little bit more of the classic look in terms of like the gray pants and stuff like that. This guy, I wanted him to feel a little darker, a little sleeker. And so I didn't want to have too many bright colors, but I wanted to find ways to break up all this black fabric. Also, this jacket is I'm also from the Pink Skull set. So actually, originally, when I first made this guy, I had everything, all blacked out. It was either matte black or gloss black, including the shoulder pads and including this chest armor here. And then what I ended up realizing was, when you have all these different layers of black on top of each other, like even if you have different paint application to it, like even if some of it's gloss and some of it's matte, and even if they have different textures and stuff, from a distance they all kind of blend together. And so then at that point I was like, okay, shoot, how do I make him pop? I wanted the gauntlets to stay black because I really, really liked that look. I liked how it just sort of followed and blended right in with the hands. But the shoulder pads as well as this chest plate, they were all like glossy black against more like the matte black coat. And it wasn't standing out enough. And so I decided to paint it with this, dry brush it with this chrome silver. and it turned out super, super nice. Because it has that undertone of black, you get some really, really nice depth and weathering and character inside that plating. And same thing on the shoulders. And so I'm really, really happy with how that turned out. And so, you know, you can see it when it's in the light, but I don't think it's I don't think it's so bright that it starts to take away from the rest of the design or, you know, take up too much focal point. I also dry brushed a little bit of silver onto the boots so that, you know, it kind of mimics his bigger silver shin guards from the comics as well. Turning to the back, here I have the throwing knives. And because there's like this button here that allows you to take on and off the belt, originally I was thinking of having a tactical knife, but that just really didn't make sense. And so since I had these two, let's see if you can see it here, since I had these two side straps that ran across the back of the belt, I attached the two sets of throwing knives there, and so now Red Hood can pull them out from either side and start chucking them at people. So I think that's super, super cool and very, very fun. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much to talk about in terms of, you know, design and stuff like that. Most of it was just painting a lot of chrome silver, painting a lot of black, using spraying translucent red or clear red so I could get that bright cherry paint. Yeah, and the rest is history in that way. I just really, really like this guy, and so I had to make a video just to show you, see what your guys' thoughts are. But yeah, this is my version for my personal collection, and I do very, very much like. I'm going to put the Titanfall pistols in his holsters. I do like that Red Devil mask. I think it sticks within the Red Hood theme in a lot of ways, but I think it's also something unique. I feel like, you know, the motorcycle helmet as is gets kind of overdone, and this gives him a little bit of a sort of renegade, vagabond type look, which I'm all about. I mean, that is, you know, let's clear out the background. That's imposing. That's intimidating right there. That's super, super fun. So I like that. Just so that we don't forget, Red Hood is not Red Hood without Batman. And so I have my classic blue Batman in here as well. And I like posing these guys together because you get that nice contrast between that shiny, you know, very, very smooth sapphire blue in the suit and in the cape versus this really sharp, crisp cherry red. Yeah, I mean, that's the video. Just a little showcase of this guy I put together. I'm really, really proud of him. I'm really, really happy with how he turned out. And I think my love for both the design and the figure is kind of magnified for the fact that it took so long to put together, both looking for the right hands, waiting for the 3D parts to come in, as well as the fact that I, you know, took a couple iterations at the design in terms of the paint work before I finally put together this version right here. And this is my, you know, at least I hope so, this is my final iteration of him. So let's get him posed up with his swords. Then I think we can close this video out. Get that strap down. There we go. Man, he is cool. So yeah, there you go. There's a lot of people who do print these Red Hood vests. I don't know about how accessible or how available these shoulder pads and arm pads are anymore, but I do believe that there's a lot of components that you can probably find on eBay or from some other sellers on Instagram. And so if you do want to build this for yourself, I believe it's totally still doable. This is not something that is out of reach or mimicking is, you know, too far gone. I don't think any of these parts or finding similar components is unrealistic. And so yeah, if you want to, you know, if you want to build this yourself, go for it. You know, I think I've listed most, I think I've listed and sourced most of the parts at this point. So yeah, go hard. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is really a vanity video at the end of the day when you think about it. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you think the figure's cool. And tell me what you think about, you know, sort of this Red Devil design. This was something original that I came up with myself just to, you know, have something besides the more traditional Red Hood helmet. So yeah, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to see the other stuff I'm working on, and if you want to know when commissions are open and things like that, check out my Instagram page. I'm a lot more active there in terms of you'll get to see the things I'm working on, work in progress pics, you know, different updates, and occasionally I'll go live and show myself painting or something like that. So if you want to see any of that, check me out at Tosh_customs on Instagram. I have my username in the description of this video, as well as a direct link in the About section on my channel page. And yeah, without further ado, I appreciate any support you give me, and thank you for all the love that I've gotten so far on YouTube. And stay tuned for more. Until then, I will catch you later, and take care.